Hey, Chiefs fans, before we get into today's show, I wanted to tell you guys about our newest sponsor here. It is the Newsbreak app. We have partnered up with these guys, and guys, I love this app. I use it on a daily basis. If you want to keep up with what's going on in your community, local news, sports, politics, pop culture, food, the Newsbreak app, it is the app for you because it's going to base what comes up on your feed based on your zip code, based on your city. So I'm here in Dallas, Texas. I can flip on the app. I'm getting notifications of, hey, this restaurant's opening in downtown Dallas. This is what the weather is like today. I use this on a daily basis, and yes, they have a sports page as well. You can keep up with local sports, national sports, and whatever it is. And plus, an extra benefit for you guys is we have partnered up with them so you can find more Chiefs Report videos on Newsbreak. So here's what I want you to do. Download the Newsbreak app by using our link, chatsports.com/ChiefsNB. Keep up with everything going on in your local communities, local news, sports, politics. Like I said, whatever your flavor is, they're going to have to offer it. And hey, follow the Chiefs Report on the app as well. Search us, follow us. It helps us out. It supports the show. Use our link to help us out as well, chatsports.com/ChiefsNB. The Newsbreak app is going to help you out. You download it. It helps us out. It's a win-win for everyone involved. So I greatly appreciate everybody who checks out Newsbreak. You're watching the Chiefs Report. I'm your host, Harrison Graham. Remember to download the Newsbreak app. We'll go ahead and get on in to today's video, and let's start with a wide receiver who's on the trade block, Anthony Miller from the Chicago Bears. Ian Rapoport reports that they are shopping him. The fourth-year receiver to be is in the final year of his rookie contract. He's been a little bit up and down with Chicago during the early part of his career, and they're looking to potentially move on from him to get a middle-round draft pick. And I think Anthony Miller, with the fresh scenery, a talented slot receiver who's shown flashes of being really, really good, could be a good fit with Kansas City, obviously playing in a better offense led by Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, Eric Bieniemy, and it would give the Chiefs, I should say, some competition at wide receiver. Because remember, Sammy Watkins is no longer on this football team. I've got some interest here in Anthony Miller if it's cheap, which I believe it would be because he is in the final year of that rookie contract. Fourth year, which he wasn't a first-round pick. He was a second-round pick, which means he's set to be a free agent after the 2021 season. And let's just say you plugged in Anthony Miller here. After Tyreek Hill, there's real question marks about, okay, who's the number 2 receiver? We're going to talk about DeMarcus Robinson here in a little bit, so stay tuned for that. But you've got Mecole Hardman entering year 3. Is he ready to take that next step? Byron Pringle's coming back. He showed out late in last season. Robinson, kind of like Anthony Miller, he's flashed, but he's been an up-and-down type of player. There's opportunities to take that number 2, number 3 type of wide receiver role in this offense and really take off with it. And with Anthony Miller, he's best utilized as a slot receiver. I don't know that the Chiefs have a true slot receiver. Tyreek Hill plays primarily outside. Hardman's usually on the outside. Robinson's definitely an outside receiver. Pringle can move around, as can Hardman and Hill, but Miller is strictly a slot guy, so you bring him into Kansas City, maybe he's your top slot receiver. Tyreek's on one side, and then you're competing with Hardman, DeMarcus Robinson, and Byron Pringle as that other primary outside receiver. I've got some interest. He's still young. He's talented. He's been inconsistent. He's had some drops issues in the past, like one DeMarcus Robinson, but throw a 6th-round pick at Chicago, see what they say. Worst thing they can say is no at the end of the day. So should the Chiefs trade for Anthony Miller? Type Y for yes, type N for no. If the price is right, 5th, 6th round, I'm at least interested. You get him for cheap. You see what happens this year? Hey, maybe you re-sign him next offseason. Let's talk about DeMarcus Robinson now. Is he going to have a bigger role this upcoming season? Well, that's what he's hoping for at least. Signed a 1-year deal to return, which we broke down here on the Chiefs Report. That's why you should subscribe. He actually hopped on NFL Network, and he wants an expanded role. He feels like he's kind of been this rotation type of receiver, which he has for his first couple of years in the NFL. Now he thinks he's ready for a bigger role, and kind of like we talked about during the Anthony Miller portion, that number 2 wide receiver spot, it's up for grabs with Sammy Watkins heading to the Baltimore Ravens in free agency. Here's what D-Rob had to say on NFL Network. Quote, Every other season, it's been 4 or 5 touchdowns, 500 yards. I think it just picks up a little bit more right now. I'm looking for the opportunity, not for them to give me the opportunity, but to go in there and take the opportunity. Get in there and show that I am a guy who can put up 1,000 yards a year and 10 touchdowns. That's bold, but I love the attitude from DeMarcus Robinson. I told you guys, I was pretty surprised when he signed a 1-year minimum deal to return to Kansas City, but I think he's got a chip on his shoulder. I think he realized at the end of last season, hey, Byron Pringle's getting more snaps than me. I think DeMarcus Robinson is busting it this offseason. He's going to come into camp in shape, and he wants to compete and show that he can be a bigger part of this offense. We've seen flashes. Those aren't bad numbers for any means for a guy who's basically been a number 3, number 4 type of receiver, but he's talking about, hey, I want to put up 1,000 yards. I want to be a double-digit touchdown guy, and if you're doing that, you're a high-level number 2, if not a low-end number 1 receiver. I'm not sure D-Rob can be that, but I think he can and has shown that he can be a good player in the NFL. Middle toward the end of last season, I was kind of turned off on D-Rob. I was like, let him walk in free agency. He just, he hasn't progressed, but I like this attitude. I think he's addressing this offseason differently than years past, and I'm excited to see wide receiver and how it shakes out for the Chiefs this upcoming season. So who will be wide receiver 2? I think this is a good question. Type H for Mecole Hardman, type R for DeMarcus Robinson, type P for Byron Pringle, and then type O for other draft pick, free agent that's still out there. If you want to get specific, let me know who that other person is. I think right now it's these 3 guys competing for that number 2 job, so go ahead and get your votes in. And while you're doing that, why not go ahead and subscribe to the Chiefs Report? I want to hit 16,000 subs before the NFL draft. 3 weeks from tonight, can you believe it? It's draft night. Can we get to 16K by then? That's 800 subs. It's a lot. It's lofty, but with your help, I think we can get there. So hit that big red button and subscribe. The latest Chiefs news, rumors, mailbags, and a whole lot more. We're going to cover it all. Share that link with a friend as well. That helps us get to 16K by the draft. It's youtube.com/ChiefsTV. One more story here, then we will sign off for the day. How about trading up for a left tackle? This idea has been thrown out there because, remember, Brett Veach aggressively went after Trent Williams this offseason. I mean, guys, they basically offered what San Francisco gave him. He just gave the 49ers a chance to match or slightly increase that offer, and he went back to San Francisco. And now, as the Chiefs have not filled that left tackle spot, maybe Brett Veach takes that same aggressive mindset to the NFL draft and gets a left tackle, which makes some sense because, A, this is a loaded tackle class, and B, the Chiefs' biggest need clearly is left tackle on either side of the football. You need a left tackle if you're Kansas City. It is as simple as that. We saw what happened in the Super Bowl without Eric Fisher, who I don't think is a true option this year. I know we talked about it the other day, but he's not going to be ready for week 1. Mike Remmers can't play left tackle. He cannot be your left tackle. And by the way, if you agree with me, go ahead and say left tackle. But what do you guys think is the Chiefs' biggest need right now? I think it's clearly left tackle. I think it's like left tackle, and then it's like a portion of other needs like receiver, corner, linebacker, edge, maybe, another safety or something like that. But I think clearly when you look at this depth chart, you're like, okay, this offensive line, by the way, get your votes in on biggest need. Okay, left guard, center, right guard, right tackle, even a combination of Lucas Niang and Mike Remmers at right tackle. I'm fine with that personally. You got competition at right guard as well with Duvernay Tardif and Kyle Long. I think you upgraded at center, and Joe Thuney's a huge upgrade, obviously. But you need a left tackle. I can't see Mike Remmers playing left tackle anymore. That was a disaster. So you kind of look at some guys in the draft. I can't imagine a scenario where you would trade all the way up to get a guy like Penei Sewell, but what about Rashawn Slater? What about Christian Darrisaw, who's been mocked, anywhere from, I'll say 13 or 14 all the way down to 20 or so? Could you move up to 17, 18, go get a guy like Darrisaw? I think Samuel Cosme, Liam Eichenberger, guys that could fall to you at 31. The point here that I am making is Brett Veach recognizes, hey, we need a left tackle. That's why we swung big at Trent Williams this offseason. Didn't work out. It doesn't always work out. Everybody freaked out. Oh, Brett Veach can't seal the deal. Then he signed like 4 other dudes. But you still need a left tackle, and this draft is a good draft to go get one. So I'm excited. We're 3 weeks away. Draft is going to be a good time, and I think the Chiefs are going to make a move for a left tackle. So what do you think? Should the Chiefs trade up for a left tackle? Type 1 for yes, type 2 for no. I don't think you should just enter the draft like, oh, we got to move up no matter what. But say Darrisaw slides a few slots. What if he's there at 21? What if he gets past the Bears at 20 and he's still there? At that point, I'm pretty interested in moving up for a guy like him. So type 1 for yes, or you can type 2 for no. And before we sign off, we opened up the video telling you guys about Newsbreak. Guys, these are our newest partners here at the Chiefs Report. Support us by downloading the Newsbreak app at chatsports.com/ChiefsNB. You can search for the Chiefs Report as well and find more videos from us over there. Give us a follow on that as well. And then, hey, keep up with what's happening in your community. It'll tie in your zip code where you're currently at. Local news, weather, politics, food, pop culture, more sports content in written form as well. Maybe you're into articles more than videos, and you can find all of that over there as well. The latest going on with the Chiefs, Kansas City Royals, whatever it is, Newsbreak has you covered. Go ahead and download the app today at chatsports.com/ChiefsNB.